Biden, there was no quid pro quo, and Biden didn't want the prosecutor fired because he didn't know that his son worked for Burisma at the time. And it's like, how can you just say that's fake? And like, it's scary to me that people will read that and be like, oh, it's fake. It's like,
Yeah.
no, look at it, like with your eyes.
Yeah, fact checkers are fucking dangerous, and it's really, I mean, what you're seeing is kind of treason. It's kind of what it is. If you're seeing that kind of fact checking, you're lying. You're lying, and you're intentionally misrepresenting facts, and you're doing so because you want a specific result politically.
Right.
And it should be illegal.
I agree.
Especially if people think of you as a fact checker, and what does that mean? What does it mean to be a fact checker? The problem with facts is a lot of them are very subjective, and you can find one small inconsistency or you could phrase a question in a certain way and have your answer false in a different way because you're just finding some nitpicky way to look at things. I've seen a lot of that to the point where you're like, that's not fact checked at all. You guys just you're gaslighting. It's just pure gaslighting.
This is what it says. Who picked the new flag?
State Emblems Redesign Commission, tasked with choosing the new flag and seal, made its final selections this week, and the new design will debut next year. It follows 4 months of meetings, many spirited debates, and 2,500 submissions from the public sharing their ideas for the new symbols.
This is why they changed it. He said it was problematic.
Problematic. Oh, I love that term. Our current flag is problematic. I think we all know that. We've evolved into a more diverse state, and I think it's more reflective of that. Okay, what was the original flag? There's concern with the scene depicted on the old flag, which many found offensive. First adopted in 1957, the flag showed a white settler tilling land as an indigenous man rides horseback. Indigenous members of the State Emblem Redesign Commission said it was harmful to their communities and promoted the erasure of their people from the land.
What?
Well, can I see what it looks like? Show me the original, just get a photo of the original Minnesota flag. Okay, click on that. Let's see what it looked like. Okay. So there's a Native American on horseback. I see it, though. And then there's a farmer tilling the land and Native American on horseback. Is that problematic because Native Americans didn't really ride horses and people didn't really till the land? Like, I don't understand what...
There's a big controversy about that, actually.
Yeah?
Whether or not how long horses have been in North America.
Well, horses originated in North America.
What?
Yeah, horses originated in North America, including zebras. All of them originated in North America. Then they were wiped out, and they had been introduced into Asia and Africa and all these other continents, and then reintroduced back to America.
Right. I meant like
when people rode them.
Correct.
Right.
So a lot of people are saying that First Nations peoples had horses for a lot longer than Europeans had been in America.
It's certainly possible. There's certainly different segments, different North American tribes that were much better, including right here where we are, the Comanche. Mm-hmm. The Comanche were notoriously good at raising horses, and it was part of how fierce they were. They had so many horses. And they rode them so well, and they could ride sideways and shoot arrows underneath the horse's neck. But I don't know why that's so problematic. You got to replace it with something that looks a whole lot like a Somali flag. Yeah. The idea it doesn't look like a Somali flag is kind of crazy. I mean, it does.
It does.
It certainly does. It's certainly the same color. Certainly also has a white star. It's just a different white star.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, the flag doesn't bother me that much. If the people in Minnesota like it, like, who cares? It's just a star and some colors. The real problem is when you hear discussions of things that are like openly Marxist philosophies, when you hear talk about equal outcomes, and and not just equal opportunity, but that we all need to arrive at the same place, equal outcome talk. There's only one way they can do that, and it's by forcing you.
Well, it's by everyone having nothing.
Yeah.
That's the only way to have things totally equal. Because you can't have everyone have everything. That's impossible.
Right. There's no way. There's not enough resources. And so for equal distribution, that has to be enforced by law. So that has to be enforced by the government, and the government generally does not have equal. They have much more than you. And that's Fidel Castro in Cuba. That's North Korea. That's virtually every communist country that's ever existed. You have a military dictatorship that decides what you can and can't do with your time.
Sure.
And all under the guise of making it better for everyone. And that's exactly what they did to North Korea. When they took over people's farms, they said, we're going to take over the farm so that everybody has food. Yay, good. Now everyone's starving.
Right.
And the government has all the food. And if you kill a cow, they'll kill you. Yeah, it's nuts. It's nuts that people don't learn from history, and it's nuts that people who subscribe to this leftist ideology have this very distorted version of humans and how capitalism works and what's the benefits of it. I think there's a lot of parts of progressive ideology and philosophy that could be applied to society to make things better. I think if we funded more things the same way we fund the fire department, the police force, these are kind of socialist things, right? Everybody gets access to the fire department.
Right.
It's a part of being in the community. We all pay for it. Education is that way, but it should be much more funded, right? It should be much more prestigious, much better trained teachers, a more esteemed position. I feel the same way about law enforcement. They should be much more respected, much better trained. We should put much more resources into that and have them be integral and a part of the community and for the safety of the community, not the bad guys who come in to pull you over because you rolled through a fucking stoplight, that kind of shit.
Right.
And I think the problem is these people that have this idea of equal outcome, this is the worst version of all these leftist ideologies. The worst version is open borders, everybody should have everything, and then equal distribution of it. And then what always comes with that is they unarm the citizens. And if they don't unarm the citizens, you can't get away with any of this stuff. But as soon as you have no one has guns other than the police, everybody is forced to comply. And if the army and the police are the only ones that get to tell you what to do and they take orders from the government, and the government is a communist dictatorship, you're fucked. And that has never been more evident than in all the versions of it that you can see in current world politics now, where a government has been taken over by a communist regime. It's always bad. It never turns out good. Not a single fucking time. People starve. It gets horrible. There's just terrible government overreach.